based on my experience, as well, in jamborees. Of course, jamboree is a big word, and I will tell you a little bit about that. I will focus a bit more on world jamborees, but you'll see that many of the things I'm going to say are applicable also to national jamborees or any type of jamborees. So I will try to share my. Camila, you need to ask to give me permission to share my screen, please. That's nice. That's okay now. Okay, I think it's all good here.
What is there?
So I hope you are seeing it.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
Camila, yes. Okay, so Camila asked me to share a bit with you what a jamboree is. I'm sure that many of you are already experienced scouts and guides, and you know what a jamboree is. In any case, I guess it's always helpful to remind what the jamboree is, and on the same side also to give you a bit of my understanding what the jamboree is. So maybe we can start by definition, and if we look in the any dictionary, you can find different definitions of what the jamboree is. It's interesting because jamboree was not, it's a word that it's different. There are different theories. Some of them say that the word already existed before Baden-Powell decided to
Jamboree
use
is
it.
the part of the television.
Can I ask you to, yeah, mute, thank you very much. Some people say that the word has already been used before, but the fact is that now if you look at the world in dictionaries, most of them are related to scouts, because this became a very, very popular word in the scout world, and therefore all the rest of the world use it or associates the word with scouting. And one of them says that jamboree is a party or celebration or other gathering where there is a large number of people and a lot of excitement, fun, and enjoyment. And I'm sure that those of you who already participated in a jamboree, being a national jamboree or international one, I'm sure you recognize the fact that this is what a jamboree is about. It's about excitement and fun. And there is also something that, another theory, which I think it's worth to be aware of, which says that Baden-Powell used the influence that he had in, as you know, he lived in Africa for a number of years, and he used one of the words, which is jambo, which in Swahili means hello, and some people say that he used the root of that word, the root of the word jamboree is related to this greeting, to this hello, because we all know that a jamboree is definitely a place to gather people, where people meet and they say hello to each other. So there are different theories, let's say, but I think these two, the concept that I explained and also the word itself, I think it's an interesting information for us scouts to keep in mind, because definitely a jamboree is a place where we meet people and greet them. So besides the official definition, let's say, I thought about sharing with you some of my understanding, some of my feelings about what the jamboree is. I've been in a number of jamborees, both national, also world jamborees, 4 or 5 of them. And I'm just giving you, this is of course only my opinion, you just take it as you wish, based on my experience, what I feel at the jamboree, what the jamboree is. So the first word, and I will tell you in 10 words. The first word is of course tradition. We do this for a long time, for more than 100 years. The first one happened in 1920 in the UK, in the United Kingdom, and that was the first time. There is also a story that says that it was a Greek leader that somehow suggested to Baden-Powell at a certain point to say maybe we could organize an event with people coming from different parts of the world. And he thought it was a really good idea. And so basically, 1920 was in Olympia in United Kingdom. That was the first Jamboree, as you probably all know. And since then, we do it every 4 years, more or less. And there are a few exceptions, which I will talk about later. But this became a tradition in the Scout movement. The fact that in a regular basis, and the initial thought was to organize it a bit like the Olympics. And you know that the Olympics are organized every 4 years. And that was the original idea, to try to have something alike in which we don't, instead of bringing athletes together, we were bringing scouts together. And this first one was pretty much about the different scouts from different parts of the world to show what scouting was in their country. So it was a bit of a sort of exhibition in which people were showing how things were happening in terms of scouting in their countries. And since then, there are as you know, 24 jamborees that have been held. And there are some continuity. I just picked these two photos that I just took from the internet. And it's interesting that one of them is in the Jamboree 1931 in the Netherlands. And the second one on the right is in 2019. And you can see that there are some continuity, right? So of course, one is in color and another one is black and white. But that's the fact that there are some things that continue to happen more or less the same way throughout the different jamborees. Others, of course, are different because the times are different, but some of them are the same. So I'll try to, so as I said, we are organizing this for 100 years. We celebrated 100 years of jamborees in 2020. And I'm trying to show you, let's see if I can, a small video that you probably have seen about the story and the all this, the life of the jamborees. Let's see if I can. Let me know if there is any.
For 100 years, the World Scout Jamboree has created a once-in-a-lifetime experience for young people from around the globe. A safe and inclusive space to meet new people, learn about different cultures, and make friendships that last forever.
Soon after Baden-Powell founded Scouting in England in 1907, the movement began to grow rapidly, expanding to many countries around the world.
By 1920, for the very first time, the idea of bringing young people from all nations together under one single banner became a reality.
In an unprecedented effort, 8,000 young people from 34 nations came together in London to celebrate Scouting and initiate the first World Scout Jamboree.
Over the last century, the Jamboree has evolved to become what it is today, one of the largest educational youth events in the world,
uniting over 45,000 participants from more than 150 nations.
The Jamboree has changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of young people and volunteers who make this extraordinary event possible.
From Denmark to Australia, to the Philippines to Chile, every 4 years Scouts gather in a different country to share, work, eat and live together.
The Jamboree is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, not just because it gives girls and boys the opportunity to travel abroad and enjoy unforgettable activities, but because it offers the chance to live side by side with different cultures, languages, and traditions. It's about being part of a global family.
No matter your background or where you call home, everyone takes part in the same camping experience and gets the chance to develop skills for life while learning about some of the biggest challenges facing our planet.
As it has done for 100 years, the World Scout Jamboree continues to remind us that within our great diversity, we are all equal and united by a promise to be prepared, help others, and create a better world.
thank you very much indeed for coming. Best of luck to you. Good camping to you all.
Okay, here we go again. So this is a bit the story of the jamborees, and it encapsulates a bit the idea of the different elements that you can find in the jamboree. So as I was saying, we had a good number of jamborees, 24 so far. Since the beginning, you can see the list here. The first one being in 1920 in the United Kingdom, and so on and so forth, until the last one being held in North America, 2019. There was a couple of exceptions in which jamborees were not held. You probably know that. One of them because of the war. So if you look here on the between Holland in 1937 and France in 1947, there were 10 years without jamborees, just because it was the time of the Second World War. So there was no jamboree, and also here in 1979, here after Norway, there was supposed to be a jamboree in Iran, but then the political atmosphere in the country didn't allow that to happen, and therefore we had to do it differently. But except for these exceptions, we have been holding these jamborees on a regular basis. And as you know, we'll speak about that at the end. The next one is scheduled to 2023 in Korea. So it has been on a regular pace that we have come together as an organization. You can imagine people, thousands of people, young people from all around the world coming together to, as they were saying, to make activities together, to eat together, to enjoy each other's company. And it's obviously something which is a bit magic that we are able to do that. So this is a tradition, the tradition part in which we come together every 4 years, more or less, in average. The second word I would like to associate to jamborees is capacity. As you heard, normally we get in the most recent years, we bring together around between 30 and 45,000 people together. Can I ask you to mute your microphones, please? Thank you. So I was saying that we are coming together between 30 and 45,000 people together, and this is not a small thing. Many of the villages and towns that we live in, I'm not talking about the big cities, of course, but the small villages and towns that we live in are smaller than that. I can tell you that I live in a small town in my country, which is smaller than 45,000 people. So you can imagine that every 4 years we build a town. Our organization, our movement comes together, and the organizers, together with the support of the organization, they put together a town. And you can imagine all the challenges related to water and sewage and security and energy and transports and all this. So it is a matter there, and normally I would say that there are not many organizations in the world which have the capacity to do that, and to build an entire town which will work perfectly during 12 days in order to accommodate the thousands of people that are coming from around the world. So it's definitely a tribute to the level of capacity and organization that our movement has as well. This is the picture of the World Scout Jamboree in Sweden in 2011. And this is the scheme of the World Scout Jamboree in Japan in 2015. So you can see we at that time, we built a small city with 1 kilometer per 3 kilometers. So it's not a small deed that the people were able to do that, just for that particular purpose of accommodating and to be able to so many people come together during 12 days and enjoy the company of each other. And this was the plan, and this was reality. So you can see here, I mean, the common areas with all these activity areas and the dome and all this, and also the places where people and scouts were pitching their tents and having their sub-camp life. And it's interesting because the value of the Jamboree is not only about the big activities and the big thing that happened there, but also the fact that the day-to-day life, what happens in small sub-camps, the fact that you can be in your small sub-camp and invite your neighbors to have a meal. For example, I have two daughters, and they have participated in Jamborees, and I remember their excitement when they were coming to me and say, well, today I had breakfast with my friends from the next door, the next camp. They were from, I don't know, Israel, and the others were from Canada, and the others were from Kenya, and so on. So the fact that we are able to, this day-to-day life that is shared with our neighbors, that's definitely the best way for us to know the other people. So, can you, thank you. So this is what I'm talking about, capacity. I mean, the fact that we as an organization, and that should make us quite proud that we are able to do that, and we make the effort. I mean, some people might think, well, what is the effort of putting all this together just for 12 days? But we think it is worth it because the impact, as you saw in the movie, this changed lives. The fact that when people participate in a Jamboree, definitely this is something that you carry your entire life, all the memories and all the learnings that you have during these 12 days. So the third word is about diversity. And of course, if you bring people, as you heard, sometimes we are able to have people from 150 different countries there, because that's the root of our movement. We are as big as that. And that means that we are able to meet people from every age, every gender, every religion, every culture, every race, whatever. I mean, and that doesn't matter. That's the true brotherhood, and that we are able to nurture and to live during those 12 days. And that's, I would say, it's one of the biggest assets that we have in the Jamboree. The fact that we are all equal. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, or if you're old or young, doesn't matter. You're just a scout. You have a scarf on your neck, and you are just living the best days of your life, basically. And that gives you excellent opportunity to meet other people, as I will tell you afterwards. So diversity is definitely one of the biggest things. There are not many occasions and opportunities in which a young person of, I don't know, 16 years old is able to meet on the same space, on the same place, so many different people. And that gives you a perspective of the world in which you are living in. I told this story before, that once a young scout came to me and said, this is how the world should be. The fact that so many people are together, regardless of their differences, that they respect each other, they're able to be friends and discover each other's differences. And if the world would be like that, I think everything would be much better than it is now. So diversity is a key feature of a World Scout Jamboree. And of course, if you go back to a national Jamboree, it's pretty much the same in terms of you meet people from other districts, from other parts of the country that you probably never visited. And that gives the young people a perspective that scouting is much beyond the limits of your small town, of your parish, or whatever. So that's why it's so important to participate in Jamborees, because it gives you a perspective of our movement as being much wider than we thought. So the fourth word would be meeting. definitely because of that diversity and so many people gathered in the same place, that gives you the opportunity to meet people that can become your friends for life, actually. Um, and it's quite amazing and magic to discover the differences and be able to meet people from very different backgrounds. And maybe they will continue to be your friends and you can nurture this friendship in the future. And I'll tell you a story that which I already told before, but I always like to tell it. These two people, these two scouts, as you know, the Jamborees are to the age between 14 and 18, the participants, I mean. So these two scouts, one Jacob from Austria and Oni from the Philippines, they met in the Jamboree in Japan. And a few years later, a couple of years later, I met Jacob here on the left. I met him on another event, and he told me, well, I would like to tell you that the Jamboree really changed my life, because I had no idea what the Jamboree was, and it was really amazing, the fact that I was there and meet so many different people. And it's interesting because I met there a friend, a person which was from the Philippines. And after the Jamboree, we organized, and I visited him in the Philippines together with another friend from the United States. So we organized a trip to the Philippines, and I went to his home. He lived in a very small village in the Philippines, so I understood how he lived. So it was a totally impressive visit. And then you can see after that, the Oni from the Philippines came to Austria as well. And he understood, and he spent some days with Jacob there in Austria, in Vienna. And he understood how it was to live in a European city, and was walking with Jacob there as well, and so on and so forth. So can you imagine that this just happened because people met in the World Scout Jamboree? So it is quite, I can just imagine the number of other stories that similar to this one that happened during those days. So definitely the Jamboree is a place to meet people, and maybe to you remember that one of the things that Baden-Powell dreamed about was to have this worldwide brotherhood. The fact that if people, and he said a couple of times, that if people were raised in respect for other, in knowing other people from other countries and so on, most likely when they would be grown-ups, they would world peace would be much more tangible, more easy to reach. And that's what I think we can do with the World Scout Jamborees. And I believe that by bringing people together and making them meet, that we are building world peace. That's for sure, person by person, and that's how I believe the sustainable peace can be achieved. So meeting was the fourth word, and the fifth word is discovery, is about discovery. I think the Jamboree is definitely a fantastic place for young people to discover things, that they are not used to. In some countries or in some people, they are afraid that young people are exposed to different realities. We should not be afraid of that. We should encourage that, because that would open people's minds and people's hearts. And I believe that making young people discover what's going on out there, it's a service that we leaders are paying to young people. And it's also a discovery of ourselves. I mean, it's not only discovery what other people are doing, how other people live in their own countries. And I normally say that it's important that a young person of 16 years old discovers how other people from their age are living in their own countries. Sometimes they think that everything is very difficult in our country until they are confronted with other realities, with other stories. And then they can realize, oh, maybe I'm a bit lucky about how I live, and so on and so forth. So it's a discovery of the others, how others live, but it's also a self-discovery. The fact that you confront yourself with your prejudice, with your mindset, and say, well, maybe the thing I thought that these guys were, I don't know, bad, or these guys were, and then at the end of the day, you meet people, we speak with them, and say, well, these are just human beings like me, and they have parents, and they have cousins, and they have family, and they have difficulty in school, and just like me. So sometimes the preconceptions that we have and that the young people have can be broken in this kind of, let's say, event. So it's definitely a place to discover the others and to discover ourselves, and to question some of the ideas that we have without thinking very much about, without knowing the total extent of in the background of different people. So that would be my fifth word. The sixth word, which probably one of heartwarming ones, is about sharing. So it's when we go to a jamboree, it's not only about collecting information, or collecting stories, or collecting experiences. It's also about giving. It's also about showing what I am, showing what my country is, showing what my culture is, because that's part of the game. That each one is putting out their experiences, their culture, their food, for example, their dances, and so on. And that's one of the most extraordinary things in the jamboree. It's not only about the extreme activities that they can experience, but also the moments in which, for example, here you can see someone from I think it's Germany exchanging food with someone from Japan, for example. And this is definitely part of the process of learning and discovering what the world is and how it is to live in other countries. So this and sharing is definitely one of the important things. I normally say that in international background, we are ambassadors of our own country, because the things we do, it's the impression that other people will keep from me and from my country. So being an ambassador, I think it's quite an important role, right? So sharing is part of the process. We expect that the participants that go to a jamboree, they are not only going there to collect information or whatever, but they need to be willing to share what they are and show that to other friends. And that goes to world jamborees, but that, if you think well, goes also to national jamborees or regional jamborees or district jamborees even, in which we come together and we are going there to show some of our realities as well. Then, of course, learning. Learning is a big part, especially for those who are scout leaders. We know that scouting is about learning, is about growing. And of course, a jamboree is a place for learning. And we learn there things that we don't learn in our own scout groups. Because we are in a different environment, the activities are different. All the setting is different, and therefore it's not the same thing than that being at home. You need definitely to be open to learn different things in a jamboree. And for us in scouting, and we are educators, we leaders, we facilitate this process of learning. In a jamboree, this is an ideal setting for that to happen, because you can do that side by side with people from other countries, which is even more exciting, right? So, of course, this is not only a place for us, the scout leaders. This is not only a place for fun and enjoyment, as I said in the beginning, but it's also a learning opportunity, a place and a time in which we expose young people to a number of different experiences and learnings and people, and they will acquire a number of knowledge and experiences that will be important for them in the future. So, of course, the eighth word is fun. I mean, we cannot even imagine a jamboree without being fun. And actually, scouting in general should be fun. I mean, it's learning, but learning in a funny way. Since the beginning, if you remember, Baden-Powell said that young people were learning through activities, and therefore it was more fun to learn like that than just by lecturing, probably like I'm doing now. So fun is definitely one of the elements of the jamboree, and the fun, because the entire environment encourages you to have fun, and because you meet new people and you have fun with them, and it's a really, I'm sure for those who already have participated in one, you know that this is the part of the game, let's say, especially when you have 30,000 young people or adolescents, 14, 18. Of course, fun needs to be there, and it's a natural thing. So definitely, besides all the learnings, all the fun that you can there, and memories that you'll keep for life. That's one of the key marks of Jamboree. Another important word, and I'm almost finishing, is service. And because, of course, this is all about young people and having fun and learn things and discover things and so on. Well, we should not forget that there are thousands of adults which are there in making the machine roll. What I mean is that there are, for example, around, I don't know, 7,000 volunteers, adult volunteers that during those 12 days, they give their time and their money and their efforts to be there and make sure that the city that we have built works. And maybe some of you have already experienced, some people outside of scouting have some difficulties in understanding why we give up 12 days or 2 weeks of our time, and we take our holidays from our jobs to go there and serve. But there is for us, it's this amount of generosity is quite touching, as you know. But for us, it's also self-rewarding, the fact that we are there and we see the joy in the faces of the young people, and that gives us some joy as well. So to feel that we are contributing for that joy, for that learning process, for that discovery, I think it's definitely for us Scout leaders the best reward we can have. So we should not forget, in all this fun, in all this adventure, in all this discovery, we should not forget that there are 7,000 or so adults which give their time to serve in, cleaning toilets, serving in the kitchen, assuring that everything is going right with security, with transport, with the garbage, everything, many of the services that need to be in place in a small city like a Jamboree. They work because there are those men and women that work really hard in very difficult hours to make that happen. And people which are not scouts, they don't understand how we can put up a city of 40,000 people. But the fact is that it only works because these people give their time and go beyond their they give their best for that to happen, and that's quite remarkable. Again, there are not many organizations and movements which will be able to say that they have all these volunteers, adults with this spirit of mission to make it happen. And finally, celebration. Because a Jamboree is definitely a celebration, and I would normally say that it's a celebration of our unity. As I said, simple fact that we wear a scarf around our neck make us brothers and sisters of anyone else, which have the same scarf. So I normally see the Jamboree as we gather every 4 years. I see it as a celebration of our unity, the celebration of our successes as well, and the opportunity for us to share some of the things that we have been doing. I think there are possibly not many, there are not better view than looking at these 40,000 people seated in a big arena and enjoying themselves and having their flags, as you see here. And this is definitely, it makes us very proud to be member of this movement. And of course, the fact that we are able to build that city, as I said, all this is part of the celebration of a good number of people, thousands of people there, and millions of people all worldwide, which really try to do their best, try to grow healthy and safe, and with this spirit of creating a better world, as you know, which is our motto. So I would say that a Jamboree is definitely, or should be also, a celebration of all this. And just about to finish, just to bring you a statement from Baden-Powell in 1932, and I'm going to read it because it's easier. It says, the average scout life of a boy, if you remember scouting at the beginning, was just for boys, is a comparatively short one. So the life of a scout is not very long. And he was saying that it is good for each generation of scouts to see at least one big rally, since it enables the boy to realize his membership of a really great brotherhood, and at the same time brings him into personal acquaintance with brother scouts of other districts and other countries. So since the beginning, Baden-Powell recognized the value of bringing scouts together, being from different districts or different countries, doesn't matter, just to widen their minds and their hearts for them to understand that they belong to this great brotherhood. And that's why I believe we should all push, let's say, our scouts and our local groups and so on to participate in this kind of events, because as the video was saying, it changes people's lives for sure. And one is just around the corner, as you know. So the next World Scout Jamboree, I mean, regardless of all the other that might happen at district level or national level, the World Scout Jamboree is about to happen. It's around the corner in 2023. So it's almost in a one and a half year time. And I'm going to share with you a small movie which can maybe gives you a or serve as an appetizer. Let's see if that works. Let's see. Okay.
In August 2023, a new world opens. A fun festival held for 12 days. The dream of youth around the world to Seimangum. Draw your dream. 2023 Seimangum 25th World Scout Jamboree. A gift from nature. A living and breathing treasure. A mysterious story that has held for tens of thousands of years. beautiful heritage awaits you. On the stage of passion and dreams, having a happy dream. 2023 Saemangam 25th World Scout Jamboree. In the endlessly unfolding Saemangam, dreams of youth bloom in a new way. Mountains, sea, through thrilling adventures on the river, through delicious experiences, through a fun experience. Beyond pleasure to newness. Only at the 2023 Saemangam 25th Scout Jamboree. Smarter, safer, enjoy more conveniently. Festival of Scouts around the world. 2023 Saemangam 25th World Scout Jamboree. Now, here as one dream, meet the Festival of Unity. 2023 Saemangam 25th World Scout Jamboree. Preparation for the future of youth around the world. A bigger world will open in 2023. Draw your dream. 2023 Saemangam 25th World Scout Jamboree.
Okay, and I think that's about it. So I think I'm on my schedule now. So we'll stop my sharing. And I thank you for your attention. And Camila, I will pass the session to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Obrigado, Professor Joao Armando, for your wonderful presentation. And inside it, there was a real story. And today, those who participated today know that Jamboree is not just a word. Inside it, there is a story. So I do not know how should I thank our invited lecturer for this. He's a very busy person and he did a lot as the chairperson of the World Scout Committee. And now he's ready to share his experiences with the next generation. And thank you. And thank you very much, sir. And before finishing his lecture completely, if anybody wants to ask any questions, few, now it is the time. I think one Bhutan, someone from Bhutan, Sona.
Yeah, can I ask the question, sir?
Yeah, please ask.
Sir, I want to ask that as sir said that it is a voluntary organization, right?
Yes.
So, voluntary organization, all the scouts, all the lower middle class scouts are there, all the upper class scouts are there. But someone said that they didn't get any benefit. What did you say about that?
Didn't get any what? I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. What did you get?
Sir, I said that. Can you hear me? That can you hear me clearly right now?
It cuts. There is some noise on the background. That's why I can't understand it. Sorry.
Okay. I'm just asking about that. That I'm from Pakistan. My name is Sana, and I'm from Pakistan. I'm one of the founder of PIA Boy Scout Association Girl Scouting, and I'm here to ask a question to you that there are so many scouts are participating. So scouts are participating over here, And someone was asking about there's no benefit
Sonam,
because
can you chat? Okay, can you chat your question in the chat? Then Dr. Joao will read and will be clear. Okay, thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
sure, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Yeah. Thank you. And Sonam can ask the question in the chat. Okay. Sonam, another Sonam from Bhutan. I think you wanted to say something. It is the time now. Thank you.
I see a question here, Camila, which is there an age level to the Jamboree? Yes, I can answer that one. Normally, the young participant is from 14 to 18. But if you are older than 18, you can participate as an international service team member. So one of the volunteers that can, as I said, that helps to, to facilitate all that small city. So as a participant, yes, from 14 to 18, so you are enjoying all the different activities that are offered. But if you are over 18, you can join as a volunteer.
Thank you.
There is any other?
Yeah. Sonam, from Bhutan, it is the time for you. You personally asked me that you want to say, yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. So I don't have question. Actually, it's not a question. So I have a student. I'm a teacher and I have a student. And then they want to express a word of appreciation for the speaker, Sir Joe.
Thank you very much.
So for this, I would like to call my student, Shezang Dolker. So Shezang, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So Kuzangpo and a very warm welcome to everyone out here present. So my name is Shezang Dolker from Bhutan, and I, on behalf of my teammates, would like to thank Sir Chamila for such a great opportunity with their appreciating ideas. I mention my sincere sense of gratitude to them. On behalf of all of my mates, I would like to place my hearty thanks to all the volunteers and participators because of whom we made this meeting possible. I also want to thank all the scout leaders for the cooperation in the meeting, and I'm very grateful for the information shared by Sir Joao out here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, many questions. Yeah, so
I have another, sir, sorry, sir. I have another interested student who want to, again, she want a word of appreciation for sir. So I like to call Finso from Bhutan. So are you there?
Yes, ma'am. So good evening, everyone from Bhutan. I, on the behalf of my friends from Bhutan, would like to thank the organizing team for allowing us to be the part of this program. Thank you so much. We learned a lot about Jamboree. It was also good to be in this virtual gathering and come across the scouts. Many scouts. So happy scouting and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And some questions are here, how to join a Jamboree. Normally, when a country holds a Jamboree, they send the invitation letter to the International Commissioner in their NSO. Then International Commissioner discuss with their committee and prepare a letter, then send to all the districts and states commissioners. Then they announce it. Then through that, they have to pass the interview in the district, after that in the state, after that directly with the international branch. Then those who select can join with the Jamboree. But this webinar also the webinar has a future several series. So we'll learn all these things, how to face an interview and all these things. I will do that. Okay, so would like to invite if Miss Lada, the contingent leader to the World Scout Jamboree Korea from Croatia, are you here? Miss Lada from Croatia.
I'm here, wait.
Yeah, okay, you are the contingent leader. I think that, yes, so thank you very much. You are the contingent leader from Croatia. And if you want to say a few sentences here.
Yes, I want to thank you all for great organization. I want to say hello to my friend Joao, and
Hello.
also I want to say hello to everyone scouts from Croatia who are now on the winter camp and they enjoy in this presentation. I think the presentation is a great opportunity to give kids a chance to meet the people who is in charge for us from WUSM, and Joao is a great scout, and thank you, Joao, and thank you, Chamila, and thank you all, and see you in Korea.
Bye, Lada. Thank you. Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank you so much. Now it is the time. If anybody wants to say anything after that, if not, I will go to my short presentation and end the meeting today. Yeah. Yes.
I would like to thank you, the lecturer who just give us so many interesting things, who just tell us about so many interesting things. That thank you so much, and thank you to invite us, and thank you so much to invite us, and just keep going to the next level, and I will be there,
Thank
inshallah.
you.
Just like right now, I will be there by the next session also.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Anybody has anything to say?
Camila, can I just say there were a number of you
Yes,
already
sir.
Akbar Reza
mentioned that.
from Bangladesh.
Yeah, just a small word to say, there were a few questions about how to participate. As Camila was said, the important thing is to contact your international commissioner, your national structure, because the participation is by contingent, is by country. So each country organizes their own delegation, and therefore those who are interested need to contact their international commissioner. I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, Akbar Reza from Bangladesh. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning and good evening, everybody. It's very nice organized by Mr. Chamila, and thanks to Armando about Jamboree in details. We know many things from him. My request to Chamila brother, if you can, please post Armando's post to us through email. Then we can distribute the the things to our young generation, young members. It is possible?
Yeah, definitely we'll discuss with Dr. Joe, and will support you. And this side, Akbar Reza, he has given his hand to Lady Baden Powell when she visited Kolkata, India. So very senior person. I'm so happy to see him here.
So nice of you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And any
I'm
more?
always with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Any more participant want to say anything?
Good evening. I'm Preeti Anand from India. First of all, thank you very much for Sir Joe Armando, Chairperson of WASM World Scout Committee. It was very informative webinar for the Jamboree, and it is very benefit for all the young peoples who have not yet joined the Jamboree or went to the Jamborees. This thanks to Chamila Kumara, great personality. Just because of him, we met Sir Joao Armando. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you
for this seminar. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We yes. Anybody has anything?
Sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Good night. Good evening. I'm
In
very
short,
happy
please. In short,
and
please.
delighted.
Yeah.
I'm very happy and delighted to be the part of this webinar, because it is really motivated, and sir's lecture was too much informative and really created the very valuable words to the world. Because Vasudev Kutumbakam, one God, one family, and it is really we should deliver to the coming generation. So we should participate, and thanks to Chamila sir, who has given the chance to become the part of this webinar. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Joyce. So many people appreciated your wonderful lecture. So hope that you will be with us to share your knowledge with the next generation. And this is how Scout Baden Powell started, and many people continued. And in our generation, we continue, and in the future also, never will stop. So thank you. And at this time, I would like to thanks again to Dr. Joe Armando, the former chairman of the World Scout Committee, for giving his valuable time at the beginning. I'm so sorry, we had a technical case, so it was fine after that. And thank you very much, Joao, for joining with us. So if you want to leave, you can leave, or if you want to be here, and I will end Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you all, and hope to see you one of these days in a Jamboree or somewhere else. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Bye-bye.
Hope to see you in Korea.
So Chamila, you have to thank to me also.
Okay. Yeah, please.
So you have to thank to me also.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much again for this great person. Thank you. And with this, I want to inform that Ms. Nika Gorozka and Ms. Diana Neil from the World Scout Committee will be with us in January month to share some parts, maybe interviews and all, and how to get an invitation like that. So it will be very useful. And this course will be ended later, and hope that you will join with us to learn more. Thank you. And would like to go for a very short presentation to educate everyone on this topic, and it is the time to do the presentation here. Wait, thank you. So International Scouts webinar series. So here, this is a special design course which provides a better knowledge on Scouts, Jamborees as an educational course with many important subtopics. And the organizers hope that everyone will join with us, will be able to learn and understand basic parts of a Jamboree from experts in the field. The objectives: educate children and adults on Jamborees with basic common parts. Oh, wait. These are the common things, and now I disable and yes, eraser. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Now no one can draw anything. Cover the history, present and the future and of the Jamborees. Make an interest of Jamboree among Scouts. Preparing Scouts and adults for Jamborees. And also answering for common questions of Jamborees using the pandemic time for a useful work. So it is really important, and so happy that you learn here. The course will be suitable for Scouts and leaders who want to get a good general knowledge of Jamborees, non-Scouts and participants who wish to know more about Jamborees, Scouts and leaders who wish to go for a Jamboree locally or internationally, persons who hope to organize a Jamboree, persons who wish to go to the World Scout Jamboree, anyone who is interested. Duration, it is 4 months course starting from today and will be ended in the end of April. Scouts and leaders over 12 to 18, then leaders 18 plus. How to join? Those who are interested, send message to this WhatsApp number and email. You can take any screenshots. Lecturers very experienced, invite lecturers who are experts in this field. Course dates and time limits Each lecture is for 45 minutes on selected dates and times according to the lecture and participants. We use Zoom. Also, anyone can wear any dress, suitable dress with a scarf. Inside the course, and Dr. Joao covered so many parts of this course, and also this you can take the screenshots, and I will put in my Facebook and in the websites about all these things. So this is how we are going to do the course, and also there will be a final test. At the test, there will be a type and oral test for the participants, and the certificates will be given after that. You can learn many important parts of a Jamboree by joining with us. And also, you can get a knowledge how to organize a Jamboree. And you can make new international friends with Jamboree Friends Corner, earning an international valuable certificates. Thank you. It is my short presentation, and all these things will be put in Facebook and my page. Thank you. And with this, I would like to end this meeting, and would like to thank Dr. Asanka for sharing his link with us. So this is the end of the Jamboree, and Jude, if you are ready for that, and it is the time for you to share this short video. Thank you. After that video, everyone can leave.